So this is the second video in my quick hits re-uploads of my older videos. Someone wanted me to upload the older videos. I told them that they were pretty rough, but here they are. Anyways, this one is pretty rough too. Basically, what I did with this series was I would watch something on Netflix and it would bother me enough that I needed to make a video, and so I wouldn't even script anything. I would just kind of get a bunch of the slides together in my video editor and then kind of record a commentary over it sort of live. So there's a lot of pausing where I'm trying to like wait for the next slide to hit, or there's just a lot of pausing where I'm just trying to find what I'm trying to say, because none of it was scripted, and this is really obvious, this one. And honestly, I want to show this because as you see some of the later ones, you really kind of see how I evolved and get better at what I'm doing. But this one's pretty rough, so here it is. Enjoy, all 10 of you. Yeah. So the other day I was browsing the movies on Netflix and I came across this movie, How to Be a Serial Killer. And I thought to myself, hey, this looks like it might be interesting, so why don't I give it a shot? Well, I watched it, and now here's a review. So let's start things off with the plot. The plot is about a serial killer who feels that his life is great because of serial killing and figures that he can enrich the lives of others by teaching them the wonderful world of serial killing that he has come to know and love. So he goes out and finds a pathetic loser who he could take under his wing and show him the ins and outs of serial killing. So he picks this guy who works at a video store and has low self-esteem and isn't very assertive at all. So like I said, he takes him under his wing, and they sort of develop a kind of friendship, father-son thing, where he goes and teaches him the finer points of serial killing, how to select your prey, how to find your prey, how to kill your prey, and what to do afterwards. And, well, they go out on little field trips, videotaping the serial killer's exploits, and then watching it back at home, I guess to get some pointers for how to do it. However, there are some problems with this movie. First of all, it has multiple personality disorder. At first, it starts off as like some sort of documentary or mockumentary, I guess, where they have this sort of psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever, trying to go into the mind of the serial killer, how they work, how they select their victims. They also have interviews with the protege and the serial killer's girlfriends, kind of create that sort of mockumentary look. However, that's not the only thing it does. It also starts to mock self-help groups or self-help gurus and self-help videos. I mean, he gets up on stage, Tom Cruise in what's that, Magnolia? Respect the cock, tame the cunt type of thing. Well, anyways, so he gets up on stage in front of an audience and gives his pointers about how to become a serial killer and how it's going to give you confidence and make you happy in your life. And actually, this part of the movie is pretty good. I actually enjoyed it. It was interesting, it was funny, and I thought perhaps this should have been the entire movie. But unfortunately, it's not. Like the mockumentary aspects, it's scattered about throughout the whole film. I'm trying to think of the whole narrative of the film. And lastly, talking about the whole narrative of the film, I expected some sort of horror comedy, but instead, it just seemed to fall flat. It wasn't altogether that funny during those moments outside of the mockumentary and the satire of the self-help. And so here we have a movie with three different things. And it doesn't want to be any one of them. It sort of just half-asses it. And unlike other serial killer movies, like Case in Point, where you have one serial killer mentoring another, it lacks that kind of darkness and that kind of interestingness, the kind of dynamic between the two. And in all seriousness, it just doesn't, you just don't feel like the guy's a serial killer. I mean, it just seems wrong. And on the other side, like other less serious psychopath movies, it doesn't have those moments, those what the fuck moments that make you kind of go, wow, this movie is insane. Oh my god, It's great, and just laugh out loud moments that you shouldn't really say are funny, but they're funny. Come on, feeding a cat to a teller machine? What the fuck, man? But the problem also is that this movie commits the number one sin of all movies. Something that just is totally unforgivable. And that sin is it's boring. The movie is boring. You just can't wait for it to end. It just sucks. There is no soul. Besides the part where it's satirizing the self-help movement, the whole movie is just a failure. I mean, you don't feel anything for the characters, especially the serial killer. When he's supposed to be menacing, he's not menacing. When he's supposed to be funny, he's not funny. It's just sad, and it could have been so much better. What they should have done was figure out what they wanted to do with this movie and stick with it. And especially the whole satire thing, the self-help part. That could have been brilliant. You could have just done the whole movie with that. It would have been awesome. They could have had so much comic potential, so much hilarity, and so much gore. But the problem is, they did it, and so it sucked. The end.